Welcome back to another edition of the Prepper Recon Podcast. Our mission is to bring you great interviews with preppers from around the world so you can be better informed and better prepared for everything from a hurricane to the end of the world as we know it. I've been purchasing gold and silver from JM Bullion since before they were a show sponsor because they have the lowest price of any dealer I know of. JM Bullion now offers free shipping on all orders. Check them out online today at jmbullion.com. American Reset, the long-awaited conclusion of the Economic Collapse Chronicles, is now available. In Book 3, the ultimate contest between liberty and tyranny reaches the apex. The Bear family and their neighbors fight to survive the fallout of the meltdown and cling to the principles in the Constitution. Will the collapse bring an oppressive regime that enslaves the American people, or will the patriots prevail and guide the country back to freedom, peace, and prosperity? Get your copy in Kindle, audio, or paperback on Amazon today. Today's guest is Sticks from the Armed Squirrels Project. Sticks and his buddy Toby are old pros at podcasting, but Armed Squirrels is their newest venture. Sticks, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mark. Really enjoy it. And of course, as you know, I'm a fan of your show. And yeah, we've got the new podcast up and going. And I think we just did episode number 13. And it's been fun.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the new show. And I love the website, too. Who put that together?
Who put half of it together? That's me.
No, who put you put the website together?
Yeah, and it's a work in progress.
It looks really good. I like the colors and I like the graphics and everything. It's very it's very appealing to the eye for sure.
Well, between time and lack of knowledge, I'm slowly but surely getting there and learning a little more and more. Time has been a crazy thing for me lately, but it'll get there. And the look of it is all right, but I've still got things to fix there. But some of it works. Good.
Man, and everything you do is a learning curve. I just upgraded my studio, and so I'm learning how to use the professional mic, and I've got the mic arm now, the big boom arm, and the pop filter, and the recorder, and the soundboard, and I don't know what most of the buttons do on the soundboard, so we'll just hope and pray that everything keeps turning out okay. This is the third podcast I've done with the new equipment, so hopefully folks out there are enjoying the sound quality. I hope it's sounding better.
Well, I was going to comment on that. I've noticed the difference on your last episode, and it's not that the sound was bad before, but it's definitely a much better sound now.
Oh, good. Well, thanks a lot for that.
Well, Toby's our sound guy, and he runs the boards from his end, and he's not here tonight because of an illness, and that's unfortunate because I think he's the better half of the crew here. Well, him and Squirrel, but unfortunately he couldn't make it tonight for an illness, and there would have been had to have been a lot of editing his coughing out. So,
and Squirrel too. He's MIA.
Yep, he's on a little hiatus. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back very soon. We've had a lot of call for his return. We've been seeing pictures and stuff posted all over the country of him touring everywhere. So he may be back soon too.
And you guys are getting a little bit more into the prepping side of things with Armed Squirrels, whereas the last show you did dealt a lot with firearms and government punditry, shall we say. Now, are you guys still covering that stuff as well?
We're not that the two of us are not political. We're kind of staying away from most of the politics stuff. There's people that talk it much better than both of us, for sure. I'm really into the preparedness and self-sufficiency thing and gardening, and as is Toby, and we're both, big firearms nuts. We've got a lot of training we've been going through and training that that we're planning on taking, and we're trying to stick with that. We've got, without even going into the political stuff, we've got enough content to fill up years worth of shows. And we found that to be good for us. We'll let the let the pros do the political stuff, and we'll do the preparedness and learning about preparedness, because I'm not a pro at preparedness. I've been into it a lot longer than Toby, but he's getting on board and getting on board quick, and we're just trying to learn along with our listeners.
Now, I think the last time we had you on the Prepper Recon podcast, you were getting a little bit more involved with Appleseed. How did that go?
I'm an instructor in training now for Appleseed. I talk about it almost every show. It's something that I'm very big into, and I just believe in not only the message of Appleseed, but it's such a cheap way of getting good marksmanship training. And if you're at all patriotic, like history, or believe that that we've got to do things to open other people's eyes to our past, and how that could relate to our present or future, this is a great program. It's cheap. There's nowhere where you can go for 2 days of instruction and history lessons for less than $100. For an adult, it's $70, and for a kid, I believe the price is still $10 or $20, and that's for a 2-day course.
And have you done some other training lately? Did you just do a Mag 40?
Oh, I did, and man, that was an eye-opening experience. It's something that I've heard about for a long time. I know and am familiar with some people in the Mag 40 arena. And I thought, I'm not, I'm a gun nut, but I don't have a ton of training. And what the Mag 40 is it's 2 days of pistol marksmanship training, and not just marksmanship. They're teaching you everything from shooting positions and rapid fire and stuff. And so you're getting 20 hours of pistol, range time, and then you're getting 20 hours of classroom time on the legalities of defensive shooting.
And they talk a little bit about what you need to do after a lethal self-defense shooting. Is that right?
They do, and a lot of the information you get, because of course you don't want all the bad guys out there to have the information. A lot of the information you get is proprietary. You have to, pretty much pledge an oath that you're not going to share that with anybody that may be bad, or publicly share it. But it is very eye-opening. I don't know if you know that one of our mutual friends took the course with me. Glenn Tate happened to be there, along with several other podcasters, actually, and Glenn was among two attorneys that were there. And it blew both their minds, the information that came out of the legal portion of the class.
Wow. So I guess you can't really get too in depth with it, but I'm just going to guess that it's not grab a shovel and dig a hole in the backyard.
No, it's absolutely not. And it's really talks about definitely what to do from the minute that there's some stuff. Most of it is what to do if you have gotten into the unfortunate situation of having to use your firearm for self-defense. A lot of it tells you ahead of time, this is definitely what I cannot do, or I'm going to jail type of thing. It gives you rules and guidelines to protect yourself, because not only protecting yourself physically so you can make it home to your family is the most important reason that most people carry a firearm. But secondly, if it doesn't mean a whole lot, if you've protected yourself but you spend the rest of your life in jail. It is very good information. It's I suggest that anyone that's serious about carrying on an everyday basis or a regular basis to take this course. It's not the cheapest, but it's well worth it. If you know who Masad Ayub is, he's been around since I was a little boy writing books. He's been a law enforcement officer forever and a day. He's one of the top level trainers. Um, he is also an expert witness and one of the top in the country, if not the top in the country. His services do not come cheap. If I remember right, $2,500 an hour comes to mind. After taking and successfully passing a MAG 40 class, if you ever get into a defensive shooting situation that is just, and if as long as it isn't something you've gone and done, just done something completely stupid, he will come and defend you in court.
Wow, that's a big bonus.
Oh, it's a huge bonus. I mean, well, all of us do not ever want to get into the situation of ever having to fire that gun, but if you carry it, the situation could arise, and it's basically a type of insurance against that.
And you've been doing a little gardening lately?
Yeah, I've been kind of a little bit behind the eight ball on some things, but I've had some things in the ground. I'm This year I'm going almost all container and raised bed gardens, and in the past I've done a lot of that, but I've had a few garden plots here and there. But I've been out building raised beds and trying to get everything in. I've almost got about half of what I'm going to plant now in, and then there's a lot of things like my second crop of peas and my second crop of green beans that I plan on planting in the near future, but it's getting there.
Yeah, green beans come up really fast. You can usually get a couple of those in a year.
Yeah, actually here with our weather, I can usually get about three runs of those. So I kind of stagger where I plant them, and I try to make good use of vertical planting.
Very good.
I do not live on a huge piece of property. We have a mid-sized backyard, and I try to make use of every square inch of it.
And where are you building the boxes out of? Are you buying the lumber from Lowe's, or are you trying to salvage used lumber? What are you doing?
Actually, I've been salvaging used pallets, and although it takes a little more time, I get a better feel. I feel a whole lot better about myself because I'm, saving a pallet from getting probably thrown into the landfill. But I'm reusing pallets and trying to reuse anything I can. We've also gotten into composting a little bit, so I'm trying to back off on buying dirt by the bag. We're still having to do a little bit of that, but not as much this year. So I'm working more and more towards self-sufficiency. This year we are going to be canning, so that's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to be sharing on our show. And the cool thing is that's kind of how our show is progressed. It's, oh, what did you do this week? And that becomes a show. We've had we've had one guest on so far, and that was you, and that was a great episode, by the way. And I want to speak to that. You've kind of, there's something I tell people all the time about teaching your mate how to shoot, for instance. They're not always receptive to that. I've talked to my fiance over and over different ways to do this, do that. And then we went to a Kathy Jackson class, for instance. And all of a sudden she's like, ding, and gets it then when someone else tells her. I've been telling her for a while, I buy junk silver on and off, and been telling her for a while that we need to do that. And she's kind of, turned a deaf ear to it until she started listening to your show. And here last week, she said, by the way, I went on Mark's page and I ordered some rounds. She actually ordered, what did she order? 5 silver rounds. She ordered a couple Eagles, a Canadian leaf, a Chinese one, and an Australian silver dollars. And I was like, oh, okay. She said, well, and you talking about it versus me telling her really opened her mind to it. And and she's taken action on that. And now she says, well, we should do that every week or two, is buy another handful more. She actually did buy that through J&M Bullion too, by the way, and said it was a flawless transaction there.
Very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I was using them before they became a show sponsor, actually. So, they were one of the first people that I went to approach to offer the sponsorship to, because I was using them personally, and that's really what I like to do is try to get sponsors that I think offer a real value, and not just, of course you got to try to pay the bills, but it's great when you can find somebody that really, really offers value, and I really think they do, and I've been ordering from them for years and never had any problem at all. So, well, I'm glad that I was instrumental in that. It's great to see you guys. I know that you're already a big precious metals guy when it comes to copper jacketed lead, but I'm glad to hear that she's getting on board with diversifying.
Yeah, for sure. And, that's actually a tip probably for anyone out there, because I don't care how much of an expert you are, Mark, and you go tell your wife something, she may be receptive to it, she may not, but to have someone else tell her the same thing, it may open her mind a little more to it. I find that a lot in the firearms community. Everyone tells you, don't try to train your someone that you're close with. They may learn some things, but they're not going to be as receptive as they are to someone else telling them the same information. So,
yeah. Now, I think you and Toby are both a little bit of Star Wars fans. Is that right?
A little bit more Toby than me, but I've of course enjoy it. We have some listeners that are big into it, and Toby also. So yes.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd get him on the show. I'm really sorry that he's feeling bad, and I know that everybody out there hopes it'll start feeling better, and hopefully we can get him back on the show as well soon. Now, you guys all set for episode 7?
Episode 7?
Yeah, Star Wars is coming out with episode 7, and it's going to be picking up basically where episode 6 left off, and so they're gonna have Han Solo, Princess Leia and all the original cast will be back. C-3PO, R2-D2, Chewbacca, everybody's gonna be back on. So
wow.
Some of these guys are Harrison Ford, he's getting up there, and Mark Hamill is getting up there, and Carrie Fisher, I guess she's getting up there too. So
I hadn't even heard that. Wow.
Yes. They just started the script, so I'm looking forward to it. Of course, it's the story of an oppressive empire that stifles freedom. And, we just had yesterday, Glenn Greenwald announced that he's going to be releasing everybody that's on the NSA watch list. Do you expect that you and Toby will be on that list?
I would be ashamed if I'm not already on there.
Yeah, I'm going to be mad if I'm not on it. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to do something to try to get on it, I guess. But
it seems like
I feel pretty safe that I'm on there.
Right, I do too. It seems like I've probably fit most of the criteria to be on it. Let's say that. I'm not a whack job or anything by any means, but by being a conservative, God-fearing, gun-loving, patriotic American, I think I fit most of the criteria.
Yeah, back in 2009, we had the DHS memo, and it listed anybody that, if you're missing a finger, which, fortunately I've still got all 10 fingers, but if you pay in cash, so that's me. If you're pro-life, that's me. If you've ever voted for a third-party candidate or independent candidate, check that box too for me. Veterans, returning veterans, they're on the list. People stockpiling ammo, or anybody with more, if you've got more than 3 days worth of food in your house, you're on the list. I think that's just a slap in the face to our veterans that have gone over, risked their lives in foreign countries, and then come home and to even be mentioned in a memo like that, I think is just repugnant.
Oh, you're exactly right. And especially, here we are. We just celebrated Memorial Day to all the fallen soldiers in in the history of the country, pretty much. And we have men and women. I read something on Facebook a little earlier today that disgusted me. It was someone that said, "Well, you chose to be a soldier, so I don't care." Well, someone has to make that choice, and these men and women in the armed forces, I hold them in the highest regards, because whether they make that choice or whether they were drafted back in the day when the draft was viable, um, they've still gone to fight for the ideals of this country. Not all of them believed in what they were fighting for, but they still did fight for the ideals of this country. And to be put on watch list, that's shameful.
Yeah, and the way that the Veterans Administration is treating them now, it's I think that young kids that are starting to think about it, I think they should really think long and hard about it and really look at the consequences, and how your government's gonna view you, and how well they're gonna take care of you if things don't work out for you, if you get shot or injured or whatever. I think that those are all things you gotta put into that decision box when you're coming up to the decision of whether or not it's right for you. And if you feel like that you wanna defend your country, most states have a state militia, and there's Coast Guard. I think that their primary concern is defending the borders, border patrol. There's still a lot of other things that you can do that are defending the country if you decide that I don't know. I don't really. And another thing is, our military is now being told that they're not allowed to proselytize. If you're a Christian, that is. I'm sure that there's exceptions made if you're Muslim or something else. But if you're a Christian, you're not allowed to proselytize anymore. So basically, now, if you're Christian and in the military, the policy is don't ask, don't tell.
Right, and that's also another thing that's shameful. Well, Mark, we just went through our here a few days ago, went through our state primaries, and one of my biggest things is, if you don't like what's happening in this country, in your state, in your county, in your city, it's up to you to get out there and help control that. And the best way to control it is at the ballot box. There is almost always, let me say, a better choice. You maybe have to pick the lesser of two evils, and I know it's horrible for me to even have to suggest that, but to see the numbers of people that did not show up to vote here recently in our state primaries just saddened me. I had a couple months ago gone and met with the guy that was running for governor, and he lost in the primary by a pretty slim margin. And if some people would have gotten off of their easy boy and turned the TV off to take that, it took me 20 minutes to go vote. It's your duty to do that. If you care about what's going on in this country, it's your duty to do that.
And the primaries are so important because that's really where we're making the decision of who we're going to get for the next round.
Right.
Now, any other new prepping projects?
A little bit of everything. We've been trying to organize our house a little better so we can store more. My office has been a complete mess, and I've recently done some things to add a little extra storage in my office / spare bedroom. But I'm getting set up to start reloading, and that's something I'm very excited about. I've got a lot of online friends that are into it. My co-host on the show, Toby, is a big reloader, and I'm got everything done right now. I've got everything I need to start pulling that handle, except for I need to finish building a workbench.
Yeah, they say that you'll save 75% almost on reloading.
Yeah, so that's been a big thing for me. I just need to make the time to do it. It seems like I have so many little projects. I've been trying to tie those up. We few weeks away from vacation, which is we're gonna do. We always try to have some fun, but learning vacations. We're gonna do some hiking and camping the whole vacation this time. Bounce around a little bit, but everything we try to do is at least a little bit of a learning moment for us.
Very cool. Yeah, we're getting our vacations this year are going to be reconnaissance missions because we're getting ready to get out of this area. So we're going to be checking out some other smaller towns in Florida. I don't know if you caught Drudge Report today, but we just had basically rioting in the street, probably not 10 miles from my house. Here in South Florida, and the riot police they had to shut down A1A. There was just basically a couple hundred gang members having like gang wars in the middle of the street, right on the beach here in South Florida.
Wow. Well, we live pretty close to a big city. We live near Memphis, and although there hasn't been any craziness lately, there's quite a bit of history of it in the Memphis area. And we live uncomfortably close there. So it may not happen as rapidly as it happens with you, but we have plans on doing just the same, finding a better place. And, I know the time is getting slim, and each day that passes is a day that we could have something bad happen. But yeah, there is something else that's been going on with me. I'm a member, and I did this to get some training, and now I'm doing it as not only for that, but for a civic thing. It's a little over a year ago. Actually, it's about a year and a half ago now. I joined our local search and rescue team. And I was able to talk my fiance into going to the last meeting, and she actually filled out an application, and she's going to join the team with us. So I'm very excited about that.
That's very cool. A lot of communities have CERT teams and things like that they have just based from either the county fire department or somebody will put that on. And you can go and join and just get some basic training with emergency response stuff, and be part of a network to get things organized in your community if stuff goes bad. And I think that's always good stuff to get involved in. Now,
well, I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you what I feel is an advantage of it is ours is connected through the county police department. It does not make us a cop or anything, but we do have that advantage of being somewhat connected to them. We also have the advantage of some equipment and some training that we can occasionally get through them. But you're getting training for free. You don't have to put into it a whole lot more than you want to. With our group, we're having to, you have to make a specified number of meetings per year to keep your membership up. But I think it's a good thing for people out there, not only to give back to their community, but for what you can learn from it and get, train from it. We now have a local owner of a local EMT company that's going to start every month coming and giving us a new level of training.
That's awesome. That's absolutely, you can't put a price on that.
No.
Now, back to the Star Wars thing, and this might be a question for Toby, but do you know, is Han Solo's gun built on an AR-15 lower?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
When I look at it, I really think that it is. I really think that that's what it's just like a stripped AR lower that they put some other pieces on, and I think that's what that's made out of.
Well, I'm sure Toby will hear this episode, so I'm sure he'll want to know. He'll want to weigh in on that. So maybe he'll have to shoot you a message or send you an email.
Yeah, Well, hopefully he gets to feeling better soon, and the next time we can get you guys back on the show, and he'll be with you.
Well, definitely, he is definitely a big part of the show, if not the better part of the show. I consider him a brother, and this has been a fun thing for us, a learning experience for us, and it's been great just interacting with people that listen. So.
And then we're going to have links in today's show notes, but now can you tell the folks where they can find the new website?
Sure. It's at www.armedsquirrelsproject.com, or you can find us at Facebook under the same name. We're on Stitcher, iTunes, and all the regular podcasting apps. So
Good. And so they can subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher.
Yes, sir.
Sticks, thanks again so much for taking time to come on the show.
And thank you.
Our individual first aid kits are now on sale. They're MOLLE-compatible pouches in Coyote, ACU, OD, or Black. They're equipped with an Israeli battle dressing, quick clot, TK4 tourniquet, suture kit, and lots of extras. It's perfect for your car, bug-out bag, or home first aid kit. Go to the PrepperRecon.com homepage and click on the IFAC store tab at the top of the page. They're on sale for $89, and that includes shipping. This kit could save